Hello, everyone. Welcome to meeting room or talking room. How we name it. So this is a typical event for us. We always try to discuss updates, and today we're speaking about 0.11.0, as programmers always name everything. And we're doing this for some time for Russian segments using Russian language. And today, very first time, we're trying to do this in English. So be patient. This type of event mostly about I'm asking stupid questions. And my colleagues help me to answer. So if you have your own question, feel free to write it in the chat and we can pin it down. And at the end, if we have enough time, we trying to answer. So thank you very much. Let's start. So of course I need to say who is this nice people. Andrei Shumakov, game director, Mikhail Kuznetsov, game designer, and Anastasia Filova, 3D artist. So, of course, more than 80 plus people doing Caliber for you and doing this update, but we, of course, cannot do wild things because it's too crazy. Try to demonstrate you 80 people at once. It's too much crazy even for us. This is why we're using these representatives. These guys who can answer questions, but you need to understand that we have much more people involved in development. And first question to you, Andre. Hello, Andre.
Hi, everyone. Albert.
So this is a very important question for me. Why we hurt people? Because every time, of course, I'm speaking about Rebalance. Because every time we're doing Rebalance, I see like a Bible scare yelling everywhere, mostly in Russian, of course, like my favorite operator now playing different, and it's totally unplayable. Of course, all guys who have operators which be buffed from us, they are silent, of course. So, question number one. Why are you doing rebalance in a game?
Well, obviously, because we keep adding those new characters to the game. The more characters we have, the more complex the entire system gets, the more interconnected relationships grow between all those characters. The synergy is a good thing, but if it's unbalanced, the whole game may be broken. So if we add more characters, we need to spend more and more time finding the balance between all of them. So now we have almost 50 operators in the game, and we want everyone, literally everyone, to be fun to play with and to be attractive and generally effective in the modes which they're picked for. So every 2 months after collecting enough data about the previously released characters, we need to look into the spreadsheets or the pie charts and see if someone is underpicked or overly effective in this or that, and make some changes. So this is what we do all the time, and we have about 3, 4 maybe sets of rebalance and reworks every year. And the latest one, the 0.11 version, had a big chunk of rebalance too. So yeah, we want everyone enjoy their operator, and the rebalances is the tool for it.
Okay, and you say data. What you mean? What kind of numbers? Yes, we use to find this balance every time.
Tons of them actually.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, we keep track on every action player takes in the game and in every mode. like kill rate, pick rate, how often players use abilities, how often they apply healing or stamina buffs, or how often they create smoke clouds or apply stun, whatever. Also, we separate players into groups depending on their skill. So the higher matchmaking rating is, the higher skilled person is, in our understanding. So we compare the results of some operators' performance within the high skilled group and in general and in every other mode. And this is how we build those charts when we see that some operator is underpicked for probably objective reasons. This character may be not good enough. Sometimes a character is overly picked or overly popular and also quite effective too, like it has been with Miguel some time ago. When we see these exclusive, excessive behaviors, we have to take care of it, because if we have Miguel, if a player has Miguel, why would he choose any other operator?
Yes.
This kind of diminishes the role of every other character. So we suffer cutting them, we suffer nerfing them, but we have to, because the entire system needs to be healthy. This is why we do it.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for explanation. And as we know, this is just the first wave, yes, about Rebalance in this 0.11.0. And the next wave, like second wave or for Rebalance, we plan to do like 3 years ahead from today, yes, in 0.11.1, yes?
Yeah. This ain't gonna be a huge version where we release new modes or battle passes, like it would be 0.12. It's a mid-season update, and to be honest, we're making such changes for the very first time in our experience, like making a rebalance in between two major patches. And also, this one's quite important because it's going to hit right in between the ranked season, meaning that the combat meter will shift somehow. Now, we've split the entire pack of rebalances and reworks into 2 halves, and most of the nerfs have been put into 0.11, and some more ups, some more enforcements for other characters, which you have no idea about, actually. Will hit the servers with 0.11.1, meaning that if you have many upgraded characters, you're gonna be lucky, because some of them will be stronger, and you'll know who exactly in 3 weeks.
Okay, intrigued. Okay, and this is interesting. Like first 3 weeks this ranked season, second season, they play with 1 meter, and the other time, I can't say rules, but feelings can be very, very different. Okay, this is also some kind of testing season for us, because we plan to doing this season ongoing, like season after very short period of downtime, next season and next season and next season. So this one, the first one, and we need to understand what are best for players and what are not. So any changes. Anastasia, now question
Hi.
to you. I know you are working on the collections from zero, from scratch in Caliber, and also you're doing some legendary outfits also, like Afghan, yes? And this is why I want to asking you, what the difference between doing collection, yes, or legendary outfit for already present collection. So what's the difference? And maybe what you personally like more.
Okay, I see. Legendary skins are a special alternative to the operator's appearance. On the one hand, it should be attractive and interesting. On the other hand, believable and historically accurate. Designing legendary skins is a little different than creating a new special unit. After all, we already have their basic look, and we know what players like about them or do not like about them. And of course, how well this appearance suits the character in terms of game design. So that's why designing a legendary outfit, we can highlight the strengths or unique traits or of each operator. As for me, I would say I prefer to do collections from the very beginning because I can do everything. Well, as for legendary skins, there is too much responsibility.
Okay, you mean that when you're doing collection from the beginning, you have like this white
I can do
list?
everything in there.
Yeah, okay. And then you're doing legendary outfit, you need to understand how game designers plan to use it. Yes,
Yes,
and
yes.
especially for this collection, so it's much more narrow way you need
Yes,
to
exactly.
fit. Yeah, thank you. Mikhail, hello. Another question for
Hello.
you. Yes. In one hand, we have all of this rebalance and operators also be nerfed. But if I ask it to you, we speaking about charity. Yes, because in this version, we create a lot of things which we hope can help players. Yes. So let's talk about rewards. As I know, rewards for level progression, yes, and rewards at total. So what we're doing and why we do it.
All right, let's talk about it. First off, let's talk about account progression and the mechanics that you will have access to. We drastically changed the amount of experience required to get to the 20th level of account, of player account, all the way from 11th level, up to 20th. That's where progression starts counting by experience rather than battles. So before the 0.11 patch, this way was like 1.5 months long. Now
1.5 months. It's tons of time, really. Because if I speak with my friends who play not a free-to-play session MMO game, a much more typical game, they say like, Albert, I'm in love with this game. It's amazing. And I say, asking him how much time you spend on this game. He says it's amazing game, like 30 hours. Already 30 hours spent. And you say 1.5 months. Yes.
it's not that bad as it sounds because
it sounds very bad.
because even if you play the game for 30 hours, it doesn't mean that you play it from the start to finish 30 hours without a break, because otherwise a person would collapse. Well, some people play like that, and there are games that make you play like that. Factoria, I'm looking at you. But those 1.5 months were a little bit less in playtime. All right, it might be like 20 hours or maybe more, but still not as bad as playing 1 month 24/7. All right, so as we get this, let's move on to the rewards and the mechanics that you unlock upon reaching these levels. You're gonna get access if you're new to the game. You might see that on the account scale, or how to say, on the ruler, there are certain mechanics, and they end on the level 11. But after account level 11, there are skills, there are contracts, there are ranked battles, and you'll see them when the version 11.1 hits live. But this way is drastically shorter, so you'll be able to start playing with contracts and skills much earlier than before. So about the rewards, we added substantially more soft currency in the first levels, in the first 20 levels. So you'll be able to get, so new players will be able to get more operators at the start. And in addition to that, we didn't forget about the players who already passed the level 20 and up. So from the level 25 and further, new rewards have been added to the account progression. So you'll have reserves, you'll have boosters, you'll have materials on the as a reward for account progression. Yeah. So
okay, I know that we a little bit up, not only account progression, and do we have any changes in the reward system in other things?
We have changed the legendary skin rewards a patch ago, and we've changed the way premium works a little bit earlier. And we also, with this patch 11.0, we've given all registered players a substantial sum of soft currency, boosters, and reserves to play. So you're gonna need them in the ranked battles. So go on and use them.
Cool. Thank you, Michael. Andrei, back to you. And let's speak about front game mode, because we put a new map object, yes, in a front map list. And I remember some events when we just design this map for this mode. So first question, why object? Yes, because we have plenty of different maps, but we use object. And the second thing about the wider, like wider squares we need to be to capture the point, because we change whole geometry of these zones. So why? This is my biggest question.
Well, speaking of changing the form of those capture zones, the general answer is because it's funnier. We tested it, we tried it here at the office, and then we shared it with our super testers, and we agreed on it being a great decision. I mean, those lines, the capture zones formed not as smaller squares, but as those prolonged lines, which actually resemble those front lines. That's the name of the mode. Where a player can spend a lot of time and having many more substantially different and various situations due to many covers in the zones, many other activities he can do, like capture the zone and protect from the enemy team rushing the territory, capturing the zone and killing all those bots. The second reason, and also the reason why we chose Object 9.0, is because it's the Zalesia Theater of War, and the bots here, the AI enemies, are different. Well, they will be quite similar to the Karhat enemies soon, but as of yet, they're different. They have advanced navigation mechanics. They know and they really want to find you, to trace you down, and if they if they can jump down, they will definitely jump down and find and kill you. So it's funnier to play with them even when you're playing on a base defending it. It's a funnier way to defend something if the enemies are rushing to you, not just standing anywhere like on Karhat maps. So this is why we chose this map. We also have the dam, but there's a different reason why we didn't pick it. That's because we're planning to have a new PvE mode on it, which we cannot spoil right now.
It's kind of an us, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing a new PvE, exactly, PvE game mode for you as myself a PvE player. So we understand that we need to do something new for you because cleaning can be boring, of course, because doing the same time, the same things. And this is the first one. And the second reason, we need to find some gameplay, some game rules, which provide us possibility to work with difficulty. Yes, not like now in cleaning or special operation, we have difficulty number 1 and difficulty number 2. So we want to create something special. The really good teams can do really insane things in this game. Am I right, Andrei?
Yes, we decided to give some more freedom of choice to the players, the choice of choosing how challenging their cooperative experience is going to be. And this is the part of the design for this mode. You'll be able to pick an easier mode for it, or you can twist it up to the enormous difficulty. And also, right now, we're testing a specific game mechanic that is not yet available anywhere in the caliber, which may make this PvE experience really different from what you've seen in the PvE modes, both in the clearing and the special operations. I'd be really happy to spoil something about it. I'm just saying that there will be more than 2 difficulty modes, and one of them will be quite specific. And this is completely PvE experience.
Yes, and we need it, I think. We need it. So you need to be patient because right now we're working on this game mode after this testing, and if all tests passed, of course, we are happy to present it to you. Thank you, Andrei. Anastasia, let's speak about models again. So, question very simple. Of course, it's interesting for everybody. How are we thinking? I mean, whole team, yes, and also your department, thinking then you design you outfits, like from idea. What are you thinking about then you plan to do something? You're reading books, watching movies, what are you doing?
Everything. Well, this legendary skin was made by another character artist, but we are always discussing every collection during the work on it and communicate to each other. So I can tell you the most interesting things and creation of this new skin. So I'll start from the very beginning. I have worked at models for several legendary outfits. These are archaeologists from CSO Nomad skin for Grom and Afghan outfit for 22nd Spetsnaz. By the way, currently I work on the new collection, but no spoilers today. Anyway, it will be, it will be cool.
And guys, I know everybody wants to spoil everything. I understand, but
I hope everybody will like it. So, creating the Normans, we put Grom operators to the rank of desert training expedition in the early 19th. The Afghan collection sends the Spetsnaz 22nd even further in the past, and we depict them during the Soviet war in Afghanistan. The archaeologist collection, on the other hand, offers a newer and more modern appearance of the SSO. We discovered adequate reference dated 2017 and use them instead of reference photos from 2013. At this time, without airborne equipment, some players will appreciate it, I guess. Yeah, and closer to KSK. This new skin for KSK is thematically similar to the archaeologist. It is also a modernization and upgrade for their equipment and appearance in general. If the original KSK collection can be dated 2011, then this legendary outfit can be safely called KSK 2020. Of course, the variety of
present days, yes.
Yeah. Of course, the variety of equipment has noticeably increased, giving us a number of interesting details to work with. For example, German combat trousers were replaced by modern ones with a cool and more dynamic silhouette and more detailed, I guess. The combat jacket also replaced by a combat shirt. Maybe all of them. Pouches have been replaced with a new ergonomic and comfortable design to fit the plate carry capabilities.
Let's try to show something.
Yes. Can we see renders? Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
There is high poly renders of the collection. Some KSK fans can notice a little difference between these pictures and models in the game. No panic, we just made some small changes in the head, models of the head, before making a final model for game. So for an artist, every detail matters, and one always wants to improve their work by adding more details. Some players have asked why we model so small details, assuming that they wouldn't be visible. Actually, in fact, that's not true. Even the smallest details are visible, not as specific bolts or seams or wrinkles on the face, but a complex surface that makes textures when we bake it, and characters in all appearance more realistic. So I would like to tell some words about every operator. For example, Shots, KSK Medic, was originally modeled with everything that is now hidden under his wrap mask. It helped to properly simulate the fabric on the top of all this stuff. So it is about details, how properly to do it. As a result, the fabric looks as realistic as it possible. Now look at the medic's back. The stretcher was originally completely modeled and then folded into dry bag on his back. Of course, at the low poly stage, all this was optimized. In the game, all KSK operators have at least 2 pieces of armor. We decided to reflect this in their look, giving out helmets to everyone without any exception. For the assault and support, we have amplified the visual effect of the head protection by attaching an extra protective elements. Stern got a full-size mask. Well, he is the strongest of the unit. This fact also supported by growing plate of the body armor and some extra shin pads. From my point of view, it looks amazing. So Kurt, can we see Kurt? Yeah. Kurt lost his hiking backpack, which is not which not all of the players appreciated. The new one is much more compact and will not give out your position behind the seating cover. Yes, Albert knows about I'm talking. Rain received another cosmetic but very charismatic element, a machete that reminds a short ancient sword. So that's why this element dominates the name for the legendary collection Spartan. But from my point of view, the most interesting feature was given to support. Instead of Albert, you know I like support. Instead of backpack, Stern received a breaching kit. Just like the real one, this kit includes a bulky grinder. Sometimes designing a character, we seek compromises and find a balance between realism and overall artistic appearance of the character. This is always a difficult choice, as you want to make the model more realistic, as realistic as possible, actually. But at the same time, make the operator look cool, attractive, and his silhouette recognizable and dynamic. So this breaching grinder is huge in real life. For the game model, it was scaled down and made smaller. I suppose that maybe 90% of the time a player sees the character's back. So it could be more enjoyable to play, maybe. I hope so. And of course, we wanted to show off all maximum elements and details and do not hide it under the soul. So, yeah.
And I know we also changed some weapon models.
Yeah.
Yes, for KSK, this is for now traditions with legendary outfits. We already provide maybe new version, maybe older version of some types of weapons. So what about KSK?
We continue the concept everything new, everything clean and German. We also used it.
German. Sounds German, yes.
Yeah. We also used it designing a legendary weapon. All characters got a newest version of the weapon or the closest analogs. So Rain got a G95 instead of his G36, and Kurt got a brand new G22A1. Primaries of Stern and shots also new and bright as a button. Everybody also got newer pistols. That's all we did.
Thank you. As you understand, this is how we think. Like when we try to create the first basic look, we try to find the most iconic looking style for these operators for this precise time. Yes, and this can be like 90s, 80s, or modern look. And after this, with these legendary outfits, we try to create some kind of time machine to recreate how this regiment looking in the past or looking now if we have the collection from the past. So I think it's a good idea, so we can
everything like in real life.
Yes, we can demonstrate how things change through the time. Andre, also question to you about, we need to announce the next event today. Yes, what's the next? And I know it's about front game.
Exactly. There's been some PvP activity with the Remnants of War 2 event. Now we have the ranked PvP, which is not ending anywhere soon. And in 3 weeks from now, we'll be launching an in-game event which will invite players to play more of the Frontline mode. Its rules will be really similar to what you've seen in the Remnants of War event. There will be 2 event tokens. You'll gain 1 type of them playing other modes, and you'll be gaining extra rewards by using them when playing Frontline. The rewards are numerous and various. You will able to gain new valuables useful for your upgrading your account and your skills, and also a lot of cosmetic items like finishing moves, emotes, skins, and 1 new operator. And I guess everyone knows what operator is going to be. Some Spanish unit is lacking a support operator, and it's going to be this one. So by playing in the front line, you'll be earning special event tokens, and when you have enough, you'll be able to purchase this operator or other cosmetic and other items.
Can you a little bit spoiling for us what this support will be about? I mean, I know all of you game designers always thinking like archetypes, and I know you have the PvP oriented operators, the PvE oriented operators. So what's about Spanish support?
Since it's going to be released with the Frontline event, which is a PvE mode, where you can face both players or AI-controlled enemies, we thought of a support who's going to be a pretty good killer, but not in a player killer way or just a farming way. It's just a funny support killer. So the Frontline should be a very appropriate mode for this one. This support will have special equipment allowing him to cover himself from the enemy fire, and his weapon will be very original in terms of caliber, because we haven't used this mechanic yet. Okay.
For now, because I know everybody from the development team always want to open every door, say what we're doing. But as you know, sometimes after support test or just test, we need to redone something. This is why we need to be very accurate when we say things about the future. So
to give 1 more hint about this guy. EZAPAC is the division that uses a lot of helicopters. They are they go on to call secure and saving missions using the helicopters, and this thing is somehow depicted in the way you play this guy.
Okay, so just 3 weeks ahead from us, new marathon based on front and new EZAPAC support. Cool, thank you very much, Andrei. Mikhail, let's speak about the contracts, because of course I recognize new small tiny icons and colors, what this mean and why we're doing these things and what else we already done for contracts.
All right, so there is a mechanic called the contracts in the game. For anyone who haven't reached the 15th level of the account yet.
We're sorry. We all sorry.
As we mentioned earlier, it will be fixed in this patch. It was fixed in this patch since it's live. But this mechanic allows you to send your operators and earn certain rewards for your account and for themselves while being off screen, while you're even not playing the game. So before this patch, you couldn't really distinguish which contract was which from the map. So we added lots of hints and color coding to the contract, so you can clearly see which one requires premium, which one is connected to the event. If you remember, there was an event called Northern Wind just several weeks ago. And this is not the last event that is going to happen and will be somehow connected to the contracts. More are on the way. So you have much less trouble figuring out which one is which. And yeah, so yeah, there will be more events of this kind. And what should be added as well is that contracts allow players to have certain degree of control over which materials they acquire. But we are going to increase it. So you will have a little bit more control about what material you will get from the contract. Because right now you can re-roll contracts, but you have no say in which materials will be re-rolled into. So
on behalf of all players and the producer himself, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not the only one working on this feature because it required a collective effort of a bunch of people, but I was the one designing it. So yeah.
Yeah, we all know this person.
Yeah.
Yes. So anything else about contracts?
There are contracts. I've spelled out everything I wanted. So look into the update news. There are going to be a lot.
Yes, if you want to know, because this talking room is mostly about questions why we're doing this. So we try to explain what behind our decision, why we're doing that. If you want to know more and in details what about this update, you can open the website. We have plenty of information about this, about every little details in this update. Anastasia.
Yeah.
I know that this is very good for us, that most of the military outfits in the world looking very close to each other. This is why we can use parts from different operators in different ways. Like if we already do this element, we can use it, then we create some new operator. So how much things in legendary KSK already been done before? Well, and how much elements creating from scratch from zero?
Well, almost all legendary KSK equipment is unique for the game. When we just started to work with our first collections, we thought that many elements of equipment we can reuse in the future for our new collections and skin as well. In fact, it doesn't work like that. We always want to do something new in the design of characters. In spite of we already have about 50 playable characters in the game and a number of characters that not released yet, most of the elements are still unique for each character. For example, in KSK design, we use from other models only night vision goggles and a small flashlight. Everything else is completely new elements that other characters do not have. Also, I'd like to say some words about textures because it's a part of characters as well. When working on textures, we decided not only to preserve a specific German camouflage. We always strive, at least try, to use national colors and patterns, and not dress everyone in universal black or multicam. We emphasize modernity of the apparatus. They look brand new. The camouflage is not faded. The pattern is clean and fresh.
As you hear, they are completely ignoring me because I'm as a producer. thinking about how to make things cheaper, faster, and all things every time produce a thing. And they just completely ignore me. And they always doing new things. Yes, this is hard to be delivered. It's hard to be a producer with a really creative team, because they say yes and doing something else, like this legendary KSK from scratch. As you know. Mikhail, the last question for you. We start in second season of Ranked Battle. Yes? And even if we understand that most of the English speaking community never played this season, yes, because it was in the previous years, yes. What difference between season 1 and season 2 in Ranked Battle?
All right, so with the patch 11.0, the second season of Ranked Battles has started. And it's still a test season. We will have some changes, and things will change both in meta and in core rules of the modes. But yeah, this one tried to address certain issues that we had in the first season. Namely, certain players noted that one of the dominant tactics was to go into full defense as soon as you rack some won rounds. So it was pretty hard to flush out a team that goes into full defense. So now you have a set of control points that spawn later into the round along the center line of the map. You don't know where exactly it will be. It might be in the center or on one of the flanks, and you have to react and get there. So there is no point sitting in one spot, and it doesn't guarantee a victory anymore. In addition to that, first season didn't have armor as a mechanic, so now it's in the game, but it doesn't replenish each round. So you'll have to be clever with the reserves and the skills you pick, because skills were not in the first season either, to make the best of it. So yeah, it doesn't replenish with each round, so you should consider either taking certain skills that help replenishing it, or picking enough reserves to keep it up. What else? As I already said, that we've moved certain, we made it easier to get to certain levels of the account earlier today. So if you had to level up to level 20 before to be able to play ranked games, now you need only the 15th level of the account to play in the ranked battles. You still need a character, an operator that has first 15 upgrades unlocked and purchased to play. But it's much easier because reaching 15th level of the account is much easier now. What else? The rewards changed as well, because in the previous season, the only way to get rewards was to either receive rewards for the first victory per day, or to get the reward for the league you end up in. But right now, there is an arsenal, so-called shop for with exclusive content that you can buy during the event, during the season. And this some of this content will be also available in the next season after that. To buy them, you have to earn tokens that can be either acquired from the loot boxes that fall after each first daily reward. And you can receive them as the reward for the last league that you've managed to acquire during the event. This arsenal also contains the rewards from the previous season, and you can even buy legendary skins from that. For the players who are not interested in the customization items, there are still packs full of reserves, free experience, and materials.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. So this was last question from me about this update. I want to say one thing more. We still do not ready for roadmaps because we are very flexible. So as a team, we want to be flexible because we prefer to look on the player's behavior and do changes version after version after version. This is why it's not simple for us like doing something in and feel with concrete to say like next year we plan to do this and this and this and these things because we basically don't know. We always say the main things we're thinking about right now. And for now, this is everything about socialization. We understand how much things you need to play with comfort. Yes, of course, we understand that you want a clans or something similar. Yes, because everybody wants to play with friends and also compete other clans and all other things about this. This is one of the biggest priority for now. But we need new technologies because every time we're doing something new, we need to prepare technologies to work with this new feature. Out of the way, we have problems, as you know. So be patient. We're working on this. We understand this. Even if we're speaking about you as players, even about controller, you asking us. Right now, we're working on it. And soon we create something playable. We plan to demonstrate it to you and grab feedback because we're doing this for you, not for ourselves. And the last thing about the whole game feelings. Yes, right now, after half year in operation, we understand that the biggest problem right now in a Calver is unpredictable way to obtain materials, yes, for progression. Not the materials themselves, but the way you don't control how to obtain this particular things or this. So we understand this problem and we also thinking how to solve it. And I hope at the end we can find success and you say, guys, this is what you need to do, because right now we can look at statistics, at numbers, look at your behavior and understand that the mathematical random not the best way to please your audience. So thank you very much, guys, for your answers, and we have some time to answer maybe questions. Yegor can help us to pin something for us. The first question I see, what about roadmap for clan module in game? As I say, this is one of the priority for now. We're working on it. We don't ready to say exactly how we plan to do this. Any other questions from you? So thank you. This is the first time we trying to do this in English. And if you say it's okay, so I hope it's become a tradition for us. Okay, reward stamina system in future. Palmates project. Reward stamina system in future. Andrei, any plans?
No, there's nothing close to it in the plans yet.
And we love stamina. We think that stamina from now
Yeah.
interesting mechanics because this is how tactical games.
Yeah, we see our game, one of the mechanics in the game as resource management. This, as we see it, adds an extra thinking level to it, which also helps us to be honest about calling it a tactical game. So yeah, maybe we may try some event mode with the stamina working differently, but not in general, because stamina management is one of the core game's mechanics.
Yeah.
There's
How far you can run from the beginning, what you want to have stamina and use your ability, or lose stamina but find a better point for your game. This is
Yeah.
essential
It
part.
it sounds like a decision of making a completely different game with, much bigger maps, where you may have to run a lot and use your ability very rarely. But this isn't it.
Yes. Mikhail, you want
Yeah, there's one thing to add, that if you haven't played for a while and ask the question if something changed, recently we've boosted the adrenaline reserve that replenishes stamina, so it is much more comfortable to play with now. So check it out if you haven't played yet.
Great. One reserve restores 1/3 of your entire stamina pool, which is great. I mean, it's often enough
yeah.
for one PvP round.
Andrei, question to you. Any plans about CIA in a game or other government
To be
regiments?
honest, not yet, but we have gathered references for the visuals and for possible abilities and weapons for one of such agencies from the US, but it's not the one which is in the works. We have much more specific and exotic special units in the plans, and we're working on them right now.
About Xbox and consoles for Caliber, this is for now easy question because yes, of course, we want to create game available on the most platforms. Yes, as a developers always, but it much easier for us working on a PC for now because it's much easier to do patches, do updates. As you know, on the consoles, it's more hard process. Yes, the first reason. The second reason, of course, controller support. Soon after we can create something you name good, we begin thinking about consoles because we need to create something good, not just port Caliber or whatever you want to call it into console, but create everything you need to play with comfort. Also, so yes, we want it, but not tomorrow. Thank you for sword question. Of course, two-handed swords. Sergey, as always, two-handed swords, the best killing machine in a medieval battleground. Any other question? Oh, we don't have time, basically. So that's all. Thank you, Andrei. Thank you, Anastasia. Thank you, Mikhail. Thanks for our guests for today. So play Caliber and always welcome in our streams. Bye-bye, guys. Thank you very much.
Bye.